The world still sleeps when your eyes open. There's something almost magical about that moment. The silence wraps around you like a soft promise. No buzzing phones, no noise, no rush. Just you and the gentle breath of a brand new start. This isn't just another morning. It's a blank page waiting for your touch, waiting for you to create something with it. Marcus Aurelius, the wise emperor who once ruled Rome, would rise before sunrise and ask himself an important question: what am I waking up to do today? He knew something deep, that the morning isn't something that simply happens to us. We shape it. We fill it with life through our choices, our focus, our courage to rise when comfort whispers, "Stay in bed." The Stoics believed dawn was sacred for a reason. They understood that the way you begin shapes everything that follows. Morning is where change begins. It's the place where the person you dream of being meets the person you are right now. And in that quiet meeting, real transformation starts to grow. Think of water running down a mountain. It doesn't crash all at once. It begins with one drop, then another and another, each finding its way, slowly carving deep paths through hard stone over time. Your morning is that first drop, small, yes, but mighty when you keep at it with purpose and care. We live in a world that glorifies the night, staying up late, working until you collapse, believing rest is for the weak. But the Stoics knew the truth. They saw that real strength isn't born from exhaustion, but from discipline, from the quiet win of choosing awareness over distraction, progress over ease. Seneca once said, "Begin at once to live and count each day as a separate life." Every morning is its own little lifetime, with its own start, middle, and end. Its own challenges and chances, its own moment of decision, where you ask yourself, will I act with purpose or just react to everything around me? When you rise early, you're not just adding more hours to your day, you're taking back control of your life. You're saying, I decide how this day begins, I choose my mindset, I choose my focus, I choose the energy I bring into the world. That choice, that simple but powerful decision, spreads through everything that comes after. The beauty of the morning isn't only in its quiet, it's in its truth. The morning doesn't lie. It shows you exactly who you are when no one else can see you. No eyes watching, no crowd to impress, just you, your breathing, and one honest question. What kind of person do I want to be today? This isn't about being perfect. It's not about trying to become someone else. It's about meeting yourself with kindness and honesty. It's about building a kind of discipline that feels like care, not punishment. It's about realizing that every sunrise isn't an order. It's an invitation to begin again. So as we move through these 7 principles of morning stoicism, remember, you're not just learning routines or tricks. You're reconnecting with an old truth that's guided thinkers, fighters, and ordinary people for thousands of years. You're learning to see your mornings for what they really are: a gift, a teacher, a sacred space where the person you're growing into begins to take shape. Pause right now and type these words as your promise. I rise with intention and purpose. Let that be your message to the universe. And don't skip ahead. Every part of this journey matters. Your change lives in the whole experience. Let's begin. Number 1. Feeding your mind before the world feeds you. What you take in during the morning becomes the soil where your thoughts will grow throughout the day. The ancient Stoics were very deliberate about this. They didn't begin their days by taking in gossip, bad news, or meaningless chatter. They fed their minds carefully with truth, wisdom, and reflection. They understood that what you feed your mind matters just as much, if not more, than what you feed your body. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal, which we now know as Meditations. But most people don't realize many of his writings were morning reminders to himself, notes on how to think, how to act, and how to live according to his values. He was shaping his thoughts before the world could shape them for him. There's a reason every spiritual or wisdom tradition begins the day with prayers, readings, or quiet reflection. It's not superstition, it's psychology. The first thoughts you think, the first words you read, the first ideas that enter your mind set the tone for your entire day. It's like tuning a guitar before a concert. You wouldn't start playing without making sure it's in tune, right? So why begin your day without tuning your mind? Picture two different mornings. In one, you wake up and instantly scroll through social media, taking in other people's perfect moments, fake outrage, and endless comparison. In the other, you start your day by reading a few lines of wisdom from a philosopher, a poet, or a thinker who lifts your mind higher. Which version do you think leads to peace, and which one leads to stress? The Stoics had a daily habit called morning reading of the philosophers. It wasn't about sounding smart or collecting information. It was about remembering what mattered, truths they already knew but often forgot when life got hard. Seneca read Epicurus. Marcus Aurelius read Epictetus. They nourished their minds with truth before the world could fill them with nonsense. Here's the powerful truth. You don't have to read for hours or finish thick books. You just need to read something that connects with you. One paragraph that speaks to your soul is worth more than 10 chapters you barely notice. Choose meaning over length, depth over quantity, change over mere knowledge. Pick your source with care. Maybe it's Stoic wisdom. Maybe it's a poem that opens your heart. Maybe it's a spiritual passage that reminds you of your values. Maybe it's the story of someone whose courage inspires you. The exact material doesn't matter as much as your purpose. You're choosing what thoughts will guide your day. You're planting the mental seeds that will grow into your actions. Psychologists call this priming. What you take in first shapes how you see everything that comes next. If you start your day with wisdom, you'll view the world through wisdom. If you start it with chaos, you'll see the world through chaos. You're not just reading, you're choosing the lens through which you'll see your life. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, live it." But how can you live it if you never remind yourself of it? That's what morning reading does. It doesn't teach you new lessons, it helps you remember timeless ones. It reminds you, this is who I want to be. This is what matters. This is how I want to show up today. And here's the cure for feeling overwhelmed. Your morning reading isn't another task, it's not homework. It's nourishment, it's healing. You don't complain about taking medicine when you're sick. You take it with gratitude because it helps you recover. Approach your morning reading the same way. It's medicine for your mind. The practice itself is beautifully simple. Keep one book, one journal, or one wise source beside your bed or in your morning space. Before you check your phone, read the news or open messages. Take just one page, one paragraph, one passage, and feed your mind before the world feeds you. Let the words sink into your mind. Let them mix with your thoughts. Let them form the base of your day. Some mornings, just one sentence will be enough. It will touch you in a new way. It will light up something you needed to understand. On other mornings, you'll want to read more and let the ideas sink even deeper. Both ways are good. This practice isn't about how much you read. It's about doing it regularly and with care. It's about giving your mind good food before the world tries to feed it with junk. The Stoics also understood the power of memorizing. They would learn important passages by heart, so that in hard times wisdom was already within reach. You can do the same. When you read something that really speaks to you, write it down. Say it to yourself again and again. Let it become part of the way you think. Let it be the calm voice inside you when fear tries to take over. You are the guard of your own mind. The morning is when you decide what gets in first. Choose wisdom, choose truth, choose thoughts that help you grow. Number 2, the sacred hour of silence. There's a reason every wise tradition values silence. Silence isn't empty. It's overflowing. It's filled with presence, focus, and truth that's usually buried under the noise of life. The Stoics didn't just sit quietly. They searched for silence. They understood that in stillness we hear what truly matters. And the early morning before the world wakes up is when that silence is easiest to find and most powerful. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, taught that real wisdom starts with listening, not only to others, but to yourself. But how can we truly hear our inner voice when we're always filling our minds with outside noise? Morning quiet time isn't about shutting the world out. It's about tuning yourself in. Think of silence like a calm lake. When the surface is smooth and still, you can see all the way to the bottom. You can clearly notice what's hidden underneath. But the moment you toss a stone, a thought, a notification, a rush into activity, the water ripples and the picture disappears. That's what happens to your mind when you start the day in chaos. The morning is your chance to protect that calm before the noise begins. This isn't just about formal meditation, though that's wonderful too. It's something even simpler, just being. It means sitting quietly with yourself without needing to change, fix, or achieve anything, just breathing, just existing, letting the simple feeling of being alive fill you. There's a Japanese word, and which means the space between things, the pause that gives meaning to what surrounds it. It's the break between notes that makes music beautiful, the silence between words that gives speech depth, the stillness between movements that gives dance its flow. Your morning quiet is the and of your life. It's what gives meaning to everything else you do. Our modern world has taught us to be scared of silence. We rush to fill every empty moment with sound, screens, conversations, or thoughts. We've forgotten that silence isn't nothingness, it's fullness. It's not the lack of something, it's the presence of everything that matters. In silence, you're not wasting time. You're finding yourself, you're not being lazy, you're connecting to the source of real creativity and focus. The Stoics practiced something they called returning to the self. It didn't mean leaving the world behind, but building a peaceful place inside your own mind. And morning is the easiest time to reach that place because the world hasn't started pulling at you yet. No one needs you. The emails can wait. The problems are still sleeping. The roles you play, parent, worker, friend, haven't started yet. In that small space, you are simply you. In that silence, your body starts to calm. Your heart rate steadies. Your stress levels drop. The part of your brain that helps you think clearly and make wise choices wakes up. You're not just sitting there doing nothing. You're getting your whole system ready to work at its best. But beyond the science, there's something deeply spiritual about morning stillness. Not religious, but spiritual in the sense of connecting to something bigger than your daily worries. In silence, you see life with fresh eyes. Your problems shrink. Your gratitude grows. You feel part of something greater. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak." Maybe he could have also said we have both silence and noise, so we can choose silence twice as often as we create sound. In quiet moments, we listen to life itself. We listen to our hearts. We listen to the wisdom that's always been there but often gets buried under endless doing. The simple practice is this. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Sit, breathe, be still. Listen. Sit in a comfortable position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and simply do nothing at all. Don't try to meditate with a method. Don't try to imagine anything. Don't repeat words or goals. Just exist. If thoughts show up, let them drift away like clouds in the sky. If emotions appear, let them move through you and fade naturally. You're not trying to reach some special state. You're resting in the state that's already there within you. Some mornings, your mind will feel calm and quiet. Other mornings, it might be full of noise. Both are okay. The goal isn't to control what happens inside. It's to stay present without judging it. That's how you build awareness of yourself. That's how you learn to see your habits and reactions without letting them control you. The gift of morning silence builds slowly over time. On the first day, it might feel strange or uncomfortable. By the 7th day, you'll start noticing small changes. By the 30th day, you might not even recognize who you were before, not because you've turned into someone else, but because you've uncovered who you truly are. The noise was hiding your truth. The silence brings it forward. Listen closely. If that truth feels real to you, don't just agree quietly. Type these words below. In silence, I find my truest self. Let your hands write what your heart already understands. Number 3, setting an intention, not just a goal. There's a big difference between the two, and the Stoics knew it well. Goals are about results you want to reach. Intentions are about the kind of person you want to be. Goals depend on things you can't always control. Intentions depend only on you. And in the morning, before the world starts throwing surprises your way, you have the chance to set your intention, to choose not what will happen, but who you will be no matter what happens. Marcus Aurelius faced this truth every single day. As the ruler of Rome, he couldn't control whether his soldiers would win battles, whether his helpers would stay loyal, or whether his body would stay strong. But he could control his spirit. Every morning, he made that choice. He would say, "Today, I will be fair. Today, I will be patient. Today, I will be brave." Not, "Today, I will win." But today, I will be worthy of whatever comes. This is the core of Stoic wisdom, knowing that the outside world can't always be managed, but your inner world, your thoughts, your behavior, your integrity, belongs completely to you. And morning is when you claim that power. When you set your intention, you're not mapping out every move like a chess game. You're declaring what kind of person you want to be, almost like taking a sacred vow. Think of it like a compass. It can't walk for you or control the path you take, but it always points to true north. Your morning intention is that compass. It helps you stay on track when life confuses you. It brings you back to center when you've wandered off. It reminds you what truly matters when everything around you gets noisy. The world today is obsessed with doing more, earning more, and achieving more. Most people wake up thinking about their to-do lists, what they must finish, what they must prove. But the Stoics would ask something else. Who do I want to be today? Because when you focus on being instead of just doing, your actions begin to match your values naturally. When you focus on your character instead of just success, your success feels full instead of hollow. Seneca once said, "It's not that life is short, but that we waste much of it." The waste he meant wasn't about being slow, it was about living without purpose, acting without thinking, reacting instead of choosing, drifting instead of steering. Your morning intention stops that drift. It helps you write your own story instead of letting the world write it for you. Here's how this looks in real life. After your quiet moment, after you've moved your body, after you've fed your mind with wisdom, ask yourself one strong question. How do I want to show up today? Not, what do I want to achieve? But, how do I want to be? Maybe your answer is patient, or brave, or kind. Maybe today you want to listen more than you talk. Maybe you want to stay calm when someone tests your peace. Maybe you want to stand steady while the world spins around you. Maybe it's to show kindness even when you feel worn out. These aren't chores to tick off a list. They're ways of being, choices to live by. They're not about being flawless. They're about moving in the right direction. The best thing about intentions is that they always belong to you. You can't control if someone cuts in front of you in traffic, but you can choose to stay calm instead of angry. You can't control whether your plan succeeds, but you can choose to give your full effort no matter the result. You can't control if people notice or praise you, but you can decide to act with honesty anyway. Epictetus talked about prohairesis, the power of choice, the inner strength to decide how you respond to life. But this ability doesn't switch on by itself. It needs practice, reminders, and attention. Your morning intention is that reminder. It's you saying, Today I remember that I have power. Today I choose on purpose. Today I guide myself. There's deep freedom in this practice. When you focus on intentions instead of goals, you let go of the stress of results. You stop judging your value by what you achieve and start measuring it by how true you stayed to yourself. Ask yourself simple but powerful questions. Did I act the way I meant to? Did I live my values? Did I stay loyal to who I want to be? Those questions are clear. They give you strength. If it helps, write your intention down, say it out loud. Keep it close in your thoughts as you move through the day. And here's something important. Come back to it. When you feel tense or lost halfway through the day, pause and ask, what was my intention this morning? Let that memory return and guide you again. Some days you'll follow your intention perfectly. Other days you'll forget it before breakfast. Both are part of learning. The Stoics never chased perfection. They believed in returning, in standing up one more time than you fall, in remembering one more time than you forget, in choosing again one more time than you react. Your morning intention is your personal declaration of freedom. It's you saying, life can send anything my way, but I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know how I want to walk through this world. That knowing, that focus and promise changes everything. Stop scrolling. Stop waiting. Write this down. I choose my character before life chooses for me. This isn't just a sentence, it's an agreement with yourself. And if you're enjoying the content, consider becoming a channel member. Besides helping the channel, you'll also get exclusive content. Click the link in the description and become a member now. Back to content. Number 4. The power of predictable ritual. There's something deeply human about having a ritual, something that reaches beyond reason and touches the part of us that longs for purpose, connection, and steadiness. The ancient Stoics knew this. They didn't wake up without direction, hoping for a good day by chance. They built small, steady habits into their mornings, simple acts repeated every day that turned regular moments into sacred ones. Epictetus taught about premeditation of evil, the practice of thinking ahead about challenges, but he also spoke about something just as important, the strength of steady practice. He said, first, decide who you want to be, and then do what you must to become that. Your morning ritual is where that transformation begins, where your words turn into action. Think of a lighthouse standing tall against crashing waves. It doesn't move when storms arrive. It doesn't dim when clouds gather. It stays exactly where it's meant to be, shining the same steady light no matter what. That's what your morning ritual should be, your lighthouse, your constant guide in a changing world. When you build a predictable morning rhythm, even something as small as waking up at the same hour, drinking a glass of water, sitting quietly, and setting an intention, you're doing something extraordinary. You're telling your body and your mind, you are safe, you are steady, you are home. We already know what happens next, and in that sense of steadiness, in that feeling of being grounded, your mind finally stops racing and begins to focus. The beauty of ritual isn't found in how complicated it is, it's found in how dependable it becomes. Your brain loves patterns, it needs them. When you repeat the same simple morning steps every day, your brain begins to expect them, to get ready for them. The struggle you feel on the first day starts to fade after a week. By the time you reach day 30, it's no longer about forcing yourself. It's simply part of who you are. But here's what makes this practice truly Stoic. It's not just routine, it's intention. Anyone can go through motions. The Stoics filled their habits with meaning. When Marcus Aurelius followed his morning practice, he wasn't just doing tasks to get them done, he was preparing his spirit for the day ahead. He was reminding himself of what mattered, his values, his purpose, his promise to live with virtue. So what does this look like for you? It means picking 3 to 5 small actions that help you feel steady. Maybe you light a candle, and take 3 deep breaths. Maybe you read a page from a book of wisdom. Maybe you look out the window and take a moment to appreciate the new day. The exact actions don't matter as much as how present you are while doing them. Notice that word, presence. This is where most people lose the true power of ritual. They build routines, but they move through them half asleep. Their body is there, but their mind is already running toward the noise of the day. The Stoic way is different. Every small act deserves your full attention. Every moment is treated with care. When you drink water, you feel the water. When you breathe, you feel the breath moving through you. That's how a simple habit becomes true transformation. There's a reason monasteries ring bells, why sacred traditions use prayers, and why champions have pre-game routines. They all understand something important. Consistency builds capacity. When your morning is stable and predictable, your mind becomes free to think deeper, to focus stronger. You're no longer wasting energy wondering what comes next. You're using that energy to be fully present, to grow, to evolve. And here's the beautiful paradox. Structure doesn't trap you, it frees you. When your morning is firm and dependable, the rest of your day can bend and shift as it needs to. You can face the unexpected. You can adjust when things go wrong because you began from calm, not chaos. The Stoics also understood imperfection. Your ritual won't be flawless every day. Some mornings you'll feel lazy, some mornings you'll fight it. Some mornings life will simply interrupt, and that's okay. The real strength isn't in doing it perfectly. It's in coming back. It's in saying, yesterday I slipped, but today I return. That's what practice truly means. This is the way. So tonight, before you close your eyes, ask yourself, what 3 small things will help me start my morning strong? What simple habit will I promise to keep, not just for a week, but for my whole life? What little routine will shine like a guiding light when I need direction? Because once you answer those questions and start taking action, you're not only changing your morning, you're changing the entire path of your life. If these words touch something inside you, make a promise right now. Right, my morning routine is my foundation. Say it out loud and notice how the words start to feel real. Number 5, protect the first hour of the day. Your silent fortress. There's a moment of the day few realize the power it holds, the first hour after waking. It seems ordinary, but it's the invisible foundation of all your mental strength. It's when the world still sleeps, when demands haven't begun, and when your mind is most receptive, pure and malleable. It's your silent fortress. And if you don't protect it, someone or something will take it from you. The truth is simple. If you don't rule the first hour, the rest of the day will rule you. Your first thoughts are the seeds of the direction your day will take. The first decision, the first gesture, the first glance at your phone. All of these program your mind to react or to choose. And the Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, upon waking, didn't rush into chaos. He asked himself, why did I wake up today? What duty calls me? It was a way of reminding himself that the day is a battlefield, not a distraction. The first hour is not ordinary time. It is sacred territory, and sacred territory needs protection. You protect what you value. You lock your house, save your passwords, and shield your body. But what about your mind? The mind wakes up vulnerable. It's still between dream and the world, defenseless. It's in this gap that excesses enter. Notifications, noise, comparisons, haste. The modern Stoic understands the first hour is the time to consolidate the center before the world pulls you to the periphery. Think of it as a stone fortress amidst the fog, silent, stable, untouchable. No one enters without permission. Inside, there's only room for what strengthens character. Outside, the requests, opinions, and urgencies of others remain. It's there that you arm yourself with clarity, discipline, and purpose before the day begins to test them all. But protecting this time doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means preparing yourself to serve it with greater clarity. Start small. with rituals that anchor you to presence. Water and posture, 30 seconds. Drink a glass of water and align your body. This simple gesture tells your brain that your body is awakening with awareness. 4 to 6 breathing, 2 minutes. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This activates the calm nervous system. The mind wakes up at peace, not alert. Intentional silence, 5 minutes. No music, no speech, no screen. Just listen to the world awaken. Silence clears the excess before it begins. Short read, 2 minutes. A paragraph of ancient wisdom or a passage that reminds you of who you want to be. It's mental food. Intention of the day, 1 minute. Write a sentence. Today I will beat chances, especially when chances shape your direction before the world tries to give you one. These initial minutes are the foundation of your daily character. The format doesn't matter. The consistency matters. Do it with reverence. Do it with presence. Seneca said that no one becomes wise by chance. Wisdom is born of habit, and habit is born of protection. By protecting your first hour, you protect your freedom. You decide the tone of your mind before society decides for you. It's your silent vow of self-mastery, and yes, the world will try to steal that hour. Urgent messages, news, notifications, commitments, they'll all knock on your door. But each time you resist, you reinforce the walls of your inner fortress. Each elegant no to chaos is a powerful yes to your lucidity. The price of not protecting this hour is high. The mind begins the day scattered, anxious, already reacting before even acting. It's like going into battle without armor. But the gain is profound. When you guard the dawn, you gain mastery over the rest of the day. Marcus Aurelius called this preparation of the soul. It's not about productivity, it's about inner sovereignty. The first hour is the bridge between the sleeping world and the waking one. Take care of it as a king takes care of his throne. So tomorrow, when the alarm clock rings, don't run into the world. Get up calmly, breathe, drink water, look at the horizon and feel the privilege of being alive. It's not just another day, it's the beginning of a new chance to become who you say you want to be. Tell yourself, I protect the first hour. It is my temple, my command, my fortress. And may each dawn be a silent reminder. You were not born to react to the world, you were born to rule your mind. Number 6, moving with purpose, not pressure. Your body remembers what your mind forgets. It keeps stress, holds tension, and carries yesterday's worries into a brand new day. The Stoics knew that real wisdom isn't only about thinking, it also lives in the body. When Marcus Aurelius got ready for his day, he didn't just sit and reflect, he also moved his body. He understood that when your body becomes still for too long, your mind follows. Movement in the morning is like a conversation between the person you were yesterday and the one you're becoming today. There's an old Stoic idea called pneuma, the vital breath, the living energy that links body and soul. The Stoics believed this energy needed to flow freely, not through harsh workouts or tiring routines, but through mindful, gentle movement that celebrates the miracle of having a body at all. Think of a river frozen during winter. When spring comes, the ice doesn't explode. It melts slowly and softly until the water remembers how to move again. That's what your morning movement should be like. After sleeping for hours, your body just needs to remember how it feels to be alive, not with force but with kindness. This isn't about becoming a top athlete or chasing fitness goals, though those can be wonderful. It's about something simpler and deeper, being fully present in your body and feeling thankful for it. When you stretch in the morning, you're not just loosening muscles, you're saying thank you. Thank you to your legs for carrying you through the day. Thank you to your arms for reaching, holding, and helping. Thank you to your heart for beating faithfully without needing reminders. Seneca wrote about the need for physical strength, not for looks or competition, but because he saw the body as a tool for virtue. How can you show courage if your body is weak from neglect? How can you show discipline if you never ask your body to do something hard? How can you gain wisdom if you ignore the quiet intelligence your body offers? The morning is the best moment to reconnect because your body is most honest then, real, raw, and ready to tell you exactly what it needs. Your body shows you where it's tight, where it's storing stress, and where it needs care. This awareness is a gift. When you move with attention, whether it's through yoga, stretching, walking, or slow-flowing motions, you're listening to your body's wisdom instead of ignoring it. Most people get this wrong. They treat morning movement like another chore, full of pressure and goals. They think they have to burn calories, reach targets, and tick boxes. But the Stoic way is different. Morning movement isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's not just a workout, it's a moving meditation. It's your way of saying, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm alive. Look at how animals move when they wake up. A cat doesn't check a fitness app. It stretches deeply and naturally. A dog doesn't count how many times it stretches. It shakes, yawns, and plays. They move because movement feels good, because it's part of being alive. Somewhere along the way, humans forgot this truth. We turned natural movement into a task instead of a joy. But it can be simple again. Just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle, intentional motion. Maybe you stretch slowly, feeling each muscle wake up. Maybe you take a short walk and feel your legs remember their strength. Maybe you dance to a song that makes you smile. The exact movement doesn't matter. What matters is being fully present as you do it. What makes this a Stoic practice instead of just exercise is mindfulness. As you move, notice what's happening. Feel your breath grow deeper. Feel the tightness release. Feel your energy begin to flow again. You're not escaping your body. You're returning to it. You're not punishing it for being imperfect. You're appreciating it for carrying you through life. There's something powerful about moving before the world starts asking things of you. When you move on your own terms, in your own rhythm, you remind yourself that your body belongs to you, not your job, not your family, not society. It's yours, and you have the right to treat it with kindness and care. Epictetus taught about the dichotomy of control, the idea of focusing on what's truly within your power. You can't control if you'll get sick. You can't stop time or change your genes, but you can choose to honor your body through mindful movement every morning. That's your power. That's where your dignity lives, and here's the beautiful thing. When you move your body with intention in the morning, that energy spreads into everything else. The way you walk into conversations, handle problems, and move through your day all reflect that same grounded focus. Physical intention leads to mental intention. They're not separate, they're connected. So tomorrow morning, after your quiet time, move. Not because you must, but because you can. Not to fix yourself, but to celebrate yourself. Not with stress, but with purpose. Before you continue, write this promise. I honor my body with purposeful movement. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. But there's something important to understand. If you've been trying for a long time to step out of your comfort zone and learn more but haven't been able to, there might be something you're not aware of. I know what it might be. Anxiety. Anxiety is like a snake that creeps up silently and affects you without you even realizing it. It leaves you feeling unwell for days, months, and even years. Living like this is like being sick all the time. But I know a solution. Stoic philosophers, along with modern psychology, have a way to help you get rid of it. I managed to cure myself of this anxiety. I made a video explaining how you can get rid of this problem, and it's in the first comment. Click the link in the first comment and start healing yourself from this feeling of anxiety. Number 7. Winning before the day even begins. The biggest victories happen before the sun rises. They're not won with weapons, but with choices. Not out in the world, but in your own mind. The Stoics deeply understood this. They knew that the fight for your day doesn't happen at noon when everything starts to go wrong. It happens in those quiet early hours when you decide what kind of mindset you'll carry. There's an idea in Stoic thinking called the discipline of assent. It means you have the power to choose which thoughts to welcome and which to turn away. Most people forget this truth, but that power is strongest in the morning. When you wake up, your mind is clear and light, untouched by stress or noise. That's your secret advantage, your special moment. Think of your mind like a castle. Every day, worries and fears will try to break through. Stress about work, problems with people, fears about what's coming, anger about what's already past. If you wait until those thoughts storm your gates, you're already on defense. But if you strengthen your mind early, before the attack begins, you face the day with power. Marcus Aurelius had a morning practice he called morning reflection. He would sit quietly and get ready for what was ahead. He didn't plan every single thing, but focused on remembering his values. He would tell himself, "Today I'll meet people who are rude, selfish, or unkind, but I won't let them steal my peace. I control how I respond, not what they do." That's what it means to win before the fight begins. It doesn't mean pretending the day will be perfect. It means being ready for what comes with calm and strength. You're setting your emotions before life tries to do it for you. When you wake up and grab your phone right away, you hand over that control. Someone else's panic becomes your stress. Someone else's anger becomes your frustration. Someone else's demands become your pressure. You've given up the fight before even realizing there was one. The Stoics would call this a kind of willing slavery, handing your freedom over to the outside world. But when you wake up and give yourself a few quiet moments before facing everything around you, something important happens. You remember who you are underneath all your titles, tasks, and responsibilities. You reconnect with your principles. You decide how you'll see the day ahead. This isn't about running away from life. It's about getting ready to face it with calm and understanding instead of fear. Think about an athlete before a big game. They don't just rush in and react. They breathe deeply, imagine their moves, center their mind, and focus on their training. They choose their attitude before they step onto the field. Your life deserves the same kind of careful preparation. Every day is a match worth getting ready for. Every morning is your time in the locker room. The practice itself is simple but powerful. Use the first few minutes after waking for thoughtful reflection. Not for worrying, not for planning, but for mentally preparing yourself. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What values will guide me no matter what happens? What problems might come up, and how will I face them with wisdom? Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The morning is your chance to stop that pattern. Instead of picturing everything that could go wrong, picture how you'll handle things when they do. Don't imagine failure, imagine strength. Don't rehearse stress, rehearse calm. This is also the moment when gratitude becomes a shield, not a shallow list of thank yous, but real appreciation for what's already good in your life. When you start your day seeing what's already working, already beautiful, already enough, you build emotional armor. Complaints can't pierce it. Comparing yourself to others loses its power. Dissatisfaction has no place to grow. The Stoics believed in amor fati, love of fate. It means welcoming whatever life brings, not with weakness, but with openness and courage. This doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing to face each moment with purpose. And that choice is strongest in the morning when you decide, whatever happens today, I'll look for the lesson. I'll look for the growth. I'll look for the hidden gift inside the challenge. Here's the real secret. Most people never learn that you don't have to control everything in life to live well. You only need to manage how you relate to life itself, and that relationship resets every single morning. It's not permanent or automatic. It's something you rebuild each day by choosing wisdom, bravery, and calm. So tomorrow, before touching your phone, before thinking about your schedule, before letting the world in, take 3 quiet minutes. Sit still. Breathe deeply. Remember who you are and what matters most to you. Strengthen your mind before the day begins. Win the battle early. And here's your move of power. Say this and mean it. I choose my response before the world chooses for me. Speak it out loud, then write it down. Own it fully. Number 8. Small commitments that ignite and sustain momentum. The human mind is driven by promises. Every time you keep one, something inside you grows stronger. Every time you break one, something shatters. And that's why true progress isn't born from grand plans, but from small commitments. Those discrete, simple, almost invisible ones that are repeated consistently until they shape character. The world admires grand transformations, ambitious goals, and spectacular turnarounds. But the Stoics knew that real power lies in what you do when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his diary every day, without an audience. Epictetus practiced the same teaching for decades, even without glory. Seneca reminded us, no wind is favorable to those who do not know where they are going. These men didn't wait for the right moment to act. They created the right moment by fulfilling daily micro-commitments. You don't have to promise to change the world. You have to promise to change yourself, one gesture at a time. It's in small commitments, waking up on the first try, keeping quiet before speaking, finishing what you start, that the foundation of inner strength is built. Momentum is born when words and actions align. Think of it like lighting a flame. At first it's fragile, a wisp of fire trembling in the wind. But each small act of consistency is like protecting that flame with your hands, nurturing it until it becomes a steady light. The secret isn't intensity, it's repetition. The Stoics didn't seek motivation, they sought direction. They knew that willpower wavers, but commitment remains. And so they created what we might call deals with the soul. Small promises that, when fulfilled, reaffirm who you are. Do the same. Choose 2 small commitments for the beginning of the day and 2 to go. Example, in the morning, do not touch your cell phone for 15 minutes. Take 3 deep breaths before getting up. At night, write a line of reflection. Give thanks for something specific. They are minimal gestures, but they keep alive the moral energy that moves you. It's the Rule 2x2, 4 micro-victories that silently accumulate until they reprogram your sense of self-confidence. Every time you fulfill a micro-commitment, your brain registers consistency, and consistency is the fuel of self-respect. You start to trust yourself again, not because the world applauds you, but because you do what you say. But the opposite is also true. When you promise yourself and don't keep it, your brain learns to doubt. It records, "My words carry no weight." And that's where demotivation arises, not from laziness but from internal distrust. Therefore, starting over is easier when the promises are small enough to be sustainable. It's not about grandiosity, it's about credibility. Seneca said, "He who is constant in small things is capable of great things." And that is the essence of Stoic progress. Not trying to do everything, but never abandoning what is possible to do today. There is a quiet dignity in those who do the basics with excellence. You don't need to shout about your discipline, you just need to feel it in the subtext of your routine. Wake up at the promised time. Honor your word. Finish what you started. Silence instead of reacting. These are small victories that don't earn applause but build inner authority. And when you fail because you will, don't be dramatic. Start over. The Stoic does not seek perfection, he seeks return. He understands that every slip is just a reminder to be vigilant, not a reason for guilt. The real mistake is not breaking the commitment, it is failing to try to restore it. Make keeping these small promises a daily ritual of rebuilding. Write them somewhere visible. Today, I fulfill my 2 quick 2. Read this sentence every morning. It doesn't need to be emotional, it just needs to be followed. Over time, greeting becomes natural, automatic, part of identity. Great advances do not come with clarions, but with constancy. It is not explosive effort that changes destiny, but rather the firm pace of those who do not stop. Momentum is born of trust, and trust is born of a word kept. So, before looking for motivation, look for microcoherence. Before dreaming of great results, rebuild the simple foundation of self-respect. Accomplishing the small is the quietest proof of strength. Tell yourself, today I fulfill what I promise, even if it is small. And you will see something extraordinary happen. The impulse, that inner fire that seemed distant, begins to reignite and grow until it illuminates everything around you. Number 9. Gratitude as foundation, not afterthought. The last principle might be the most life-changing, the most unusual and the most powerful, starting your day with gratitude. Not the shallow kind where you just list a few things, but the kind that fills your whole being and shifts how you see the world. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate, but it begins much simpler than that. It starts the moment you open your eyes and notice what a huge gift it is to have one more breath, one more morning, one more opportunity. Marcus Aurelius began many of his mornings by appreciating what he already had, not only things he owned, but the gift of being alive, of being able to think, to choose, to love, to learn. He wrote, "When you wake up, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't blind optimism, it was wisdom in its purest form. This was a man who lived through war, betrayal, sickness, and loss. He didn't choose gratitude because his life was easy. He chose it because being thankful helped him survive it. Many people misunderstand what gratitude really means. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about noticing what's still good, even when life feels heavy. It means realizing that even inside hard times, there are small gifts. Even inside struggle, there is learning. Even when it's dark, the stars still shine. The Stoics practiced gratitude because life was full of problems. Gratitude was their anchor, the thing that kept them steady in rough waters. Think of two people starting the same hard day. One wakes up thinking about what's missing, what's broken, what could go wrong. The other wakes up seeing what's present, what's working, what's still possible. They live the same day, but they experience two totally different worlds. Gratitude doesn't change the situation, it changes you. And that difference can change everything. Science even supports this ancient truth. When you practice gratitude, your brain starts to change. You build new connections that help you notice beauty, kindness, and opportunity. You quiet the parts that always look for danger, lack, or complaint. So your morning gratitude isn't just a nice idea, it's training for your mind. It helps you become calmer, more creative, and more ready to find joy, even when life gets tough. Seneca wrote about something called premeditation of goods, the premeditation of good things. The Stoics are usually known for imagining challenges, but they also made sure to reflect on what was good in their lives. They did this so they wouldn't take anything for granted, to truly see their blessings and feel them deeply, breaking through the dullness that daily routines create. Morning is the best time for this because the day hasn't yet filled your mind with stress or noise. You're clear, open, and honest with yourself. This is when gratitude can go deep. This is when it can become the base of your day instead of something you remember only when everything falls apart. Here's a simple practice. Before you get out of bed or right after your morning routine, place your hand over your heart. Take 3 deep breaths and think of 3 specific things you're thankful for. Not vague things like my family, but real moments, like the way my daughter laughed yesterday. Not my health, but how strong my legs felt when I walked yesterday. Being specific makes gratitude real. The Stoics also practiced what they called negative visualization, imagining loss. not to be sad, but to remind themselves how precious life is. You can try this softly. What if this morning had been your last? What if you hadn't opened your eyes today? What if this chance was gone? When you feel how fragile life is, gratitude becomes something deeper. You don't just think it, you feel it all the way through. And then comes the most powerful level of all: gratitude for your challenges. This is the highest kind of Stoicism. This is where amor fati, the love of fate, truly begins. Can you be thankful for the hard day ahead, not because you wish for struggle, but because you know it will shape you, because you understand it will build strength, patience, and wisdom in you that comfort never could, because struggle is the cost of growing, and growth is the whole reason we're here. Epictetus taught that we should thank the universe for everything it gives us, because everything, good or bad, is a lesson. Every difficulty is a teacher in disguise. Every problem is a doorway to becoming stronger, kinder, and wiser. When you start your morning with this mindset, you stop fearing the day ahead. Instead, you meet it like a respected rival, a wise coach, a sacred mission. This doesn't mean pretending that everything is fine. Some mornings feel heavy, some days are full of shadows. The Stoics knew that. But even in those moments, there is something worth honoring. Even when life feels dark, you can still be thankful for your strength, for your courage to keep walking, for the quiet power that grows inside you each time you face what's hard. Your morning gratitude is an act of rebellion against the world's habit of complaining, against the pull of comparison, against that inner voice that whispers, "You're not enough." Gratitude is your way of saying, "I choose another path." You start to see things differently. You start to live differently. Let that thankfulness pour out through your fingers and type these words. I begin each day with a grateful heart. Feel how everything inside you shifts when you write it. That change you feel, that's transformation already happening. The sun rises whether we're ready or not, but how we greet that sunrise, that part is always our choice. These 7 Stoic lessons aren't rules to follow perfectly. They're gentle invitations to come back to yourself, again and again, morning after morning. They remind you that true change doesn't come from dramatic events. It grows quietly from the small, steady things you do when each new day begins. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they didn't live easy lives. They faced chaos, loss, betrayal, and fear, just like we do and often more. But they discovered something timeless. Every morning is a fresh start. Whatever happened yesterday no longer defines you. When the sun rises, so can you. Every stumble, every mistake, every sorrow, none of them can stop you from beginning again. Your morning isn't just the warm-up for your day, it is your life. Each sunrise is its own story, complete and whole. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. When you treat it as sacred, when you fill it with stillness, movement, learning, intention, and gratitude, you're not just shaping your morning, you're shaping yourself. You're slowly becoming the person you were always meant to be. The world will always reach for your attention. It will distract, demand, and pull you in 100 directions. But before the noise starts, there is this precious moment, this quiet space that belongs only to you. Use it with care. Use it on purpose. Treat it as the rare gift that it truly is. So when your alarm rings tomorrow, remember, you're not just waking up, you're rising. You're claiming your own life. You're practicing the oldest and truest art, the art of living well. One morning at a time, one decision at a time, one mindful breath at a time. The Stoics stand beside you. Centuries of wisdom walk with you. And most importantly, your truest self, the one waiting patiently inside, is with you, ready to be remembered, honored, and fully lived. Wake early. Begin your day with purpose. Listen deeply. This is how real change begins. This is how you grow into who you really are. This is it, your final promise to yourself. Say it, write it, believe it. Every morning I rise as the person I'm becoming. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. If this message touches you, share it. Remind someone else that they can choose too. Add your promise below and join this growing community of people choosing to live with intention, one mindful morning at a time. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for choosing to grow. Thank you for rising.